Hi, welcome to this video today, which is all about trading Forex for a living, trading full time, which is the dream of a lot of people who come in the Forex markets. And for most who come in the markets, it is just a dream. They're never going to achieve it. But I do know, and I've met several people over the years who have achieved the dream. And I've met plenty who have failed as well. Now, in this video, I want to go through the reality of what it takes, and not just the reality of what it takes to trade full time, but also give some tips on increasing your account size quickly with good risk management. Now, I did start off the video with a short clip from the fantastic TV series from the BBC, The Office, which has gone on to become a global, worldwide hit. Why? It's all about people working in kind of dead-end jobs and wanting to escape. I just thought it was a fantastic series when it came out. Now, a lot of people want to escape the 9 to 5 by trading Forex for a living. So we are going to summarize some points in terms of what it takes and obviously tips on just basically increasing your account balance quickly. Now, if you're watching this video, you got a few $100 or 1,000 and want to trade for a living, don't bother watching any further because it isn't going to become a reality for you, okay? Got to be realistic. So let's be realistic, go through some key points and tips on trading Forex for a living and also growing your account quickly, even if you're not trading full time and making a great second income. Right, I'm going to go to a storyboard and discuss all these points in more detail. All right, let's have a look at trading FX for a living. Now, in terms of the advice I'm going to give here, basically based upon my number of years in the trading markets or trading markets and the people I've met over the years, those that have achieved the aim and, of course, those that haven't. Now, in terms of point A, what you need to do, first of all, it's a very basic point, you need to work out how much money you need in your trading account to support your overhead. And that's going to be different for all people. Also, you are going to have a different amount of profit potential that your strategy is capable of. Now, in terms of the example there, I've just put in 50,000. It can be any amount. I'm just going to use it for illustration. Let's say you got 50,000. How much can you make? Okay, well, I've said in the past, and I've seen people do it, that 50 to 100% is achievable. Not everyone's going to achieve that, but that's achievable. I've seen people do that year in, year out, okay? I've seen some people do even more, okay? But I think, if you get 50 to 100% in your mind, that's a good figure to basically work with. So if you got 50,000, you can make 50%, let's say, per annum. That's 25,000. Is that enough for you to live? Well, if you're a student at home, it might be. If you're married with kids, it's probably not going to be. So you've got to really match the amount of trading capital you've got with the gain against the overhead that you have. Now, in terms of the profit potential of your strategy, I've said 50 to 100%. Yeah, it's a ballpark kind of figure. You need to work it out for yourself, okay? Do not try trading for a living with no experience. This should be basic advice again, but you get a lot of traders. They write to us, for example, and say, I want to trade for a living. It's what I really want to do. Yeah, how much can I make per annum, etc.? How much money do I need? They've got no experience. So it's impossible to give an answer. You need experience part-time because you need to work out your strategy's edge. You need to work out what it's realistically capable of making within your risk to reward parameters. Then you can think about trading for a living, okay? But not, just come in, I want to trade for a living. You need experience, okay? Also, in terms of trading for a living, the mental pressure is extremely different to when you're trading part-time. We know that, Forex trading is a psychological game, and it's a tough psychological game, even when you're trading part-time. You've got another income. When you haven't got any other income at all, you're relying on your trading account, the pressure goes up, okay? And I think, the fatal error that, anyone who I've known who's wanted to trade for a living and failed, the fatal error they've all made it to a degree, is trying too hard as it's full-time. Okay, they feel that they suddenly need to do more than they did before. They want something to do, so they come in and they dabble in the markets all the time, in and out or whatever, trade too much. They forget how they traded previously. They think they need to make more effort when they trade for a living. You do not. If you've got a strategy with an edge that's working well part-time, the effort should not go up. Okay, you should remain patient and disciplined and not constantly be looking for trades. If you look for trades, and just want to trade, you can take low odds trading opportunities. Now, another fatal error is to try and smooth the month-to-month income. A lot of traders say I want to make $2,000 or $3,000 a month consistently each month. Well, it's not going to happen, is it? And this is another point that needs to be kept in mind. Profits and losses in any forex strategy are subject to random distribution. So you'll find, it doesn't matter what type of strategy you use, you could be a swing trader, you could be a trend follower, you're probably going to have a few great months in the year, a few okay months, and then you'll have months that are not so good. And the months that are not so good, where you're losing or you're not making much money, that can be, in my experience, easily 3 months. I'll come back to this in a moment, but I just want to talk about drawdown in relation to Paul Tudor Jones, who makes a very good point. He says the best traders, personally what he aims for is to make 3 times his gain per annum against his drawdown. Okay, so if we took it, like say you had a profit objective of 90%, you're probably going to draw down 30% at some point from peak equity. Okay, now that's not so bad once you've got going and you've built yourself a bit of a profit cushion, but you don't want it at the beginning when you start trading for a living. And it can happen. Okay, you might get off to a great start, but all the great traders, if you read up on them, will say a 3-month drawdown is pretty typical, or 3 months where not much happens for you in terms of profit. It's very true. So you need to be prepared for that from the beginning. So I would say you need a reserve of 3 months to cover your overhead. Okay, preferably up aside 6 months. Make yourself even more comfortable, because you've got to maintain patience and discipline. And traders come in, they want to trade for a living, they get off to a bad start, then the discipline goes, they fight to get money, ends in disaster. So you need to be prepared for drawdown. I'm not saying you get a 3-month drawdown straight away, it could come a year later. But just be prepared, because when you're not prepared, the worst is likely to happen, in my view. Pressure is very different when you're a full-time trader to a part-time trader. You find you think differently, and you do. So in terms of trading FX for a living, and we'll go through some more points that are relevant to what I've just said, but also building up to trade full-time. Okay, let's say you haven't got enough money. How do you build up? Let me just go through the points. So where are we? The psychological benefit of regular pay-ins. I think this is a great way to trade. Got a guy, I know him. He's basically got about 14,000. He's serious. He wants to trade for a living, but he needs 30,000. He's only young, okay, but he's very serious and he's a decent trader. Now, what he does is he takes 1,000 a month from his salary and tops up his trading account. That is very psychological, because obviously if you've got drawdown, if you've got a strategy with an edge, you're going to recover it eventually, but it just helps to have money going in all the time, doesn't it? Also, you're working your way towards your goal. It's fixing you on a goal. So that's working really well for him. I think regular pay-ins are a good idea. Just my personal view, but I think psychologically really helps. Going for the home run with a cushion of profits. You can do this as a full-time trader, or if you're wanting to get to your objective, you might be able to get there quicker by using this tactic, so to speak. Now, what I mean by going for a home run is, let's say you're looking to make 50% per annum. You're well ahead in terms of your profit objective for the year. Let's say you've got 20% extra or whatever. You then see a fantastic trade in the market, and it has to be a fantastic trade. That's the one where you have that real gut feel, that real conviction that it's going to come right. Then you can risk the extra amount you've made, okay? If you lose, you just go back to where you were, which you'd have been happy with before. But if you win, you can really push yourself a long way ahead. And I've known several traders who've done this with, let's say, risking 10 to 30%, and managed to push their accounts forward by like 50% or 100% plus. You don't want to do that just for the sake of doing it because you've got some profit. You must see a trade that you've got inner conviction on. It's very much the George Soros, Stanley Druckenmiller way of trading. If you have got some profit, you see that trade you really like, go for it. Go for the jugular, really push yourself forward. Now, in terms of perhaps the most underrated advantage of Forex trading, in my view, is compound growth. And any trader, doesn't matter if trading full-time or part-time, should keep it in mind because it focuses you on the long term. Now, in terms of compound growth, I've just done a simple example, which I've done in other videos, but for people who don't know my sort of admiration for compound growth, let's say you had 10K, you made 100% per annum, compounded on that amount. After 10 years, you'd have 1.5 million. Money makes money, it snowballs. Now, in terms of compound growth, Forex trading is probably the only business where your overhead or your effort does not increase because you're just doing the same process, aren't you? You just got more money to trade with. Most businesses, if you start to expand, so to speak, you have to take on a bigger overhead. It doesn't happen in Forex trading, does it? Your overhead should remain constant. It's just your kind of effort. And that's it. I just think compound growth really focuses you on the long term as well. Maintaining motivation, focus and discipline in my experience. Some people ask me, do I trade Forex full time? The answer is I don't, okay? I do trade obviously for myself and for me, I like to do other things, other businesses. So I've got 2 other businesses which are totally unrelated to Forex, and also I do teach as well. I like Forex trading. It is a great business, but I just like to do other things. And in terms of maintaining focus and discipline and so forth, the motivation, I think with Forex, and it's just my personal view, if you become a full-time Forex trader, it is a lonely business. It is a pressure business. You need something else to do. Okay, you can make it really related to Forex trading. I basically should always read. I know I make this point all the time, but it's true. You should read constantly stories of the great traders, how they did it to keep you motivated, all different aspects of psychology that can impact on you when you're trading. Sort of kind of those sort of motivational books. They can be related to psychology, trading, whatever they might be, keeps you focused and disciplined because it is very difficult to keep that focus and discipline when you're trading full time for most people. Okay, and one lapse of discipline, basically, is fatal. Now, in terms of my sort of profit per annum, been asked that. Generally, I'm aiming at if I can, 30 to 50%. I'm not the greatest trader out there, if that makes sense. Also, in terms of my kind of risk profile, I'm pretty risk averse. I'm not so much gung ho when I'm in Forex trading. I can make enough to make it worthwhile for me on the trading account that I've got. Also, for me, I do other things, so I'm not under that constant, how would I put it, psychological pressure of it being my only income. But in terms of traders that I know who've achieved trading for a living, they do tend, how would I put it, not necessarily the most intelligent people, but really people who are motivated to do it, really focused on doing it, and basically they've just decided they want to do it. They're going to do anything that they can to do it. And when you say, or people might say to me, well, that sounds obvious. No, it's not. Most traders will keep making the same mistakes. Deep down, perhaps they don't believe they can really do it. Yeah, it really is a battle of psychology to become a full-time Forex trader. I hope I kind of brought that point across clearly. But yeah, it's possible. You'll know deep down if you can achieve it or not, I think. Yeah, they're my sort of reflections on trading Forex for a living. So it is a way of escaping, the 9 to 5. And like for me, Forex trade doesn't take much time. You can do other things as well. It's great business. I'm going to finish up very quickly with a clip from David Brent. First clip ever in the office, made me laugh. And when I look at this clip, I think of all the Forex educators out there who just say, it's just so easy to become a full-time trader. It's not, but it's possible. It's up to you, obviously. Right, finish up. This clip always makes me laugh, and love The Office. Brilliant TV programme. And I hope you enjoyed my reflections on trading for a living as well. Right, just finish off with David Brent. Thank you very much for watching me as usual. Take care. Have a good day.
I don't give shitty jobs. If a good man comes to me and says, thank you, David, for the opportunity and continued support in the work-related arena, but I've done that, I want to better myself, I want to move on, then I can make that dream come true too, aka for you. The point is, you talk the talk, you do not walk the walk, vis-a-vis, you have not yet passed your forklift driver's test. The man who gives the jobs in the warehouse is a personal friend of mine. Alright? I know the man for the job.